I want you to picture this. The good weather is hit and you are feeling hyped for some training. You long to go out with your mates and spend hours upon end jumping around, exploring, and getting up to all kinds of shenanigans. However, their availability is limited and you really want to train. So your only option is the dreaded solo sesh. But how can you have a solo sesh where you're comfortable, but you come out of it feeling like it has been beneficial and seriously helped your progression? Well, join me as I take you through the best advice for solo training. The first bit of advice for solo training is to ease yourself in. This is where you gently introduce solo training to yourself and gradually become more comfortable with it. The best way to do this is to turn up early to a group session or stay late afterwards and give yourself 30 minutes to an hour of training by yourself. If you turn up early, you'll be able to warm yourself up and maybe complete a couple of small challenges by yourself in a public place before the rest of the group arrives. And you'll always have that voice in your head telling you that soon there won't be just one person jumping on the walls, there'll be multiple. If you choose to stay late, then yes, you may be a little tired from the group session. However, you will still be in the same mindset, meaning that you shouldn't have as much fear or nerves to complete some challenges by yourself, as you will have just completed a good few hours with other people. So tip 1, ease yourself in. The next piece of advice is to start isolated. What this means is that if you're not entirely confident training by yourself, then start by using the spots that are as out of the way from the majority of public as possible. Don't go to the spot that is right in the center of your hometown or city, because there'll be people walking past constantly, and if you are still getting used to being by yourself when training, this is going to put you off massively. Instead, start by using the spots that are on the outskirts of the town, maybe in a couple of quiet estates, somewhere where not many people are going to be passing through. Then, as you gain more confidence, you can start going closer and closer to your spots in the center of the city. So tip 2, use quieter spots. Staying small and technical is probably one of the best ways that you can have a productive solo session and stay uninjured. Don't go for the big stuff or take high risks, but do focus on technical training and flow. If you are training by yourself, then there is no one to catch you when you fall, no one to brace a rail, and no one to hype you up. Therefore, play it safe and leave the bigger stuff for another day. Instead, focus on small to medium difficulty challenges that you can drill to help improve your technique, be it cat grabs, precisions, or focus on your line creation, smoothly linking together different movements. Various parkour practitioners have stated that these are the best things to focus on during a solo session, and a lot of their progression in larger movements has come from many hours training technicality by themselves. So tip 3, stay small and technical. This next one is about not treating the world like a barcode. Basically, don't constantly be scanning around to see if people are watching you. This is something that as I got older, I started doing more. I'd plan to do a jump. I'd take a quick scan to see if anyone was around. I'd then do the jump and instantly, the second I landed, be looking around again. Then I'd go back to the start and look around again. Then I'd do the jump, and on landing, you guessed it, I'd scan. I swear that 50% of my training was actually just me looking around to see if anyone was watching, and it wasn't because I wanted someone to come up to me and tell me how great I was or how they loved what I was doing, but it was more the fear of being judged or being kicked off the spot. Now, this self-conscious feeling will disappear over time, but I found the solution to my scanning issue was simply a single earphone. The music coming through the earphone didn't need to be loud. It just needed to be enough for me to partially focus on that and my training, with the other ear just listening to my surroundings just to be on the safe side. But just keep in mind, contrary to popular belief, you are not the main character and not everyone is paying attention to you. You'll be surprised how many people will walk past you when you're training and they won't even register it. So tip 4, the world's not a barcode. Stop scanning. If you are self-conscious and you're not entirely confident training alone, then you are going to absolutely despise this next bit of advice. Train for yourself, not others. Now, there are actually 2 sides to this. First off, only go training if you actually want to train. Don't go out if all you want to do is get an extra clip for your social media because you feel like you haven't been posting enough. This is the perfect way to have an abysmal session that you will end up hating. The second side to this is that you should always practice what you want, not what you think the public want to see. For example, you may think, I'm gonna go and work on my creativity within my lines, and you'll start rolling around on the walls and doing some fancy spins and off-axis tricks that will definitely look odd to passers-by. Then the self-consciousness will kick in and you'll just end up doing backflips and easy running jumps because you think that that's what people will want to see you do. No, don't do that. If you want to train your weird and wacky flow, then go ahead and do so. No one can tell you no. So tip 5, train what you want, when you want. This final bit of advice to aid you in your solo training is that safety and security is your priority at all times. Now, this doesn't just mean with what you're training, but also the where and the when. For example, ladies, if you're training by yourself, you might want to avoid the dodgy parts of town late at night. Men, it's probably a good idea to avoid the school spots on a weekday unless it's after hours. Regardless of who you are, if you have belongings with you, make sure they are A, hidden, and B, easily accessible to you. There is only one person looking after your stuff, and that is you. If all your attention is on this challenge and your bag is just lying around in the open, it would be very easy for someone to just walk past and nick it. So make sure it's out the eye of the general public, but still accessible to you should there be an emergency, if you're injured or if you're being chased off of the spot. So tip 6, prioritize safety and security. So there you go, the best advice you could ever hear for how to have a productive solo training session. Now, there is one little bit of advice that isn't on this list, and that is simply to do it more. You'll never get over the self-conscious feeling or any anxiety that comes with training alone if you only do these 6 things once. You just need to get out there and keep training by yourself. A massive thank you to everyone whose name is on screen right now. You are a huge help with the research for this video. Join me next time where we'll be looking at the life story of Scotland's most famous freerunner. See you around.